Hello everyone, this is Slatter, and welcome to another edition of GTA's ISO Mode. Make sure you follow GTA Sports Network and GTA Heat Check on all social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, GTA Sports, and don't forget GTAsports.com for all things in the world of sports. Now today we're talking about a team that I don't want to say has been disrespected this season, but they're not looking like the team that just won a championship. So for those who have been under a rock, talking about the Golden State Warriors. Now, as it stands, the Golden State Warriors, 2019, just over 500 on the win percentage, 12-8 in the conference, 17-3 on home, and 3-16 on the road. They're 6-4 in the last 10. Again, without Steph Curry. All right. They recently lost a heartbreaker to the Pistons. But prior to that, they had, Klay Thompson had his 50-piece up against the Atlanta Hawks, which was a very close 143-141 win. But what I want to talk about today is the offseason. And I know you're probably thinking, why would I skip past the potential back-to-back championship that's on the table? Well, if I were to be completely honest with you, with Steph Curry's current injury and no signs of his return anytime soon, there's no report saying that Steph is, ramping up to make his return as of yet. So, I mean, they're targeting, of course, next Friday, the 13th, which is my birthday, ironically. But I don't know if they're going to get that clearance from the doctors just yet. Of course, he's got a sleeve on his shoulder, so hopefully we'll see what happens. But again, according to Bob Myers, the GM, he's saying that Steph should return January 13th. In San Antonio against the Spurs, a team that's not really competing this year. They're in a rebuild mode. But what I want to discuss about this team is not necessarily Steph Curry. Steph Curry is going Steph. All right, I'm not really here to discuss that. What I really want to talk to you guys about is the roster, all right? The roster problems, okay? Dante DiVincenzo, somebody who was very integral in the Bucks championship season 2021, had a great season with Sacramento as well. But had injury issues leading up all in between there. They got him on a great discounted deal this season, but the way he's been playing, staying relatively healthy out in, Golden State, puts him in the same position that they had with Gary Payton II, where they're not going to be able to re-sign him because he's going to be worth more than what they're budgeting. So, being that he's been clutch for them and playing, pretty much doing everything they need him to do, I don't see him being a part of the team long term, unfortunately. Also, too, while we're on the subject of players not being part of the Golden State's long-term plan, I'm seeing names like Jacob Portal coming out of San Antonio, possibly being a trade piece in the trade market. Don't be surprised. Of course, the offseason addition of JaMychal Green and James Wiseman is in the G League as well. They're basically suffering at the big position. No disrespect to Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney's doing everything he possibly can to anchor the team on both ends of the court. But when you go up against a Giannis Antetokounmpo, a Joel Embiid, you can't compete with that. Kevon Looney can score and do a lot of great things for this team and has done a lot of great things for these championship teams that he's been a part of. But he's not the big you need when it comes to going up against some of the greats that are in the league currently. I'm seeing also reports, now I don't know if they're going to do this or not, but I've seen reports of Dwight Howard's name being tossed around, Golden State possibly joining, going to San Francisco, coming back from Taiwan. As I mentioned in a previous video with the LA Lakers, again, Dwight Howard would be a great pickup. I wouldn't be surprised if DeMarcus Cousins got a 10-day. If he doesn't get the workout successfully in Lakerland, I can see him going to Golden State and trying to run it back one more time because they can get him for a cheap deal, again, on a discount. So there are players out there that can fulfill certain positions. I think once Steph gets back, they'll feel more secure at the guard position. So in the end, if they do have to lose Dante DiVincenzo in the offseason because they can't afford to re-sign him because he can definitely opt out of his 5.4 that's on the table for his second year because it's a player option and go back into the free agency market this offseason. So being that he's probably worth anywhere between 12 to 15 million, because the team can offer him the same amount that Portland offered Gary Payton II, which was about 10 to 12 million, which Golden State could have matched the offer. They just chose not to. And he's just now making his debut this week. So far, it looks like they made a safe bet not paying Gary Payton because he hasn't played all season. Even though he fit very well for their defense and helped them get a chip with injury, he hasn't played all season. So he's missed half the season. So I think that the brass at Golden State made a great decision not re-signing Gary Payton II. So no qualms here. Congratulations to Klay Thompson shutting everybody up with the 54 points against the Hawks the other night. A lot of people said he's washed. He's not the same as he was before injury, and yet he is still proving everybody wrong time and time again. So congratulations to Klay Thompson for, again, proving everybody wrong and handling his business. He still got it. He's still a Splash Brother. That's not going to change. He's going into the Hall of Fame as one half of Steph and Klay. Klay and Steph, the Splash Brothers. History has been made. No matter what he does now, his legacy is cemented. Speaking of Klay Thompson, his name has come into reports as well from various sources that he could possibly go to the team that his father played for, Michael Thompson, in the LA Lakers. So don't be surprised if he ends up in La La Land because they can't afford to keep the team together after this season. So they got the office does have some more very crucial and heartbreaking decisions to make when it comes to continuity, when it comes to a legacy, when it comes to what's been done. Since this inception of this team has been built through the draft, and they, just out to the great Jerry West for putting this together, along with Mark Jackson for developing them at the time, former head coach prior to Steve Kerr, and Steve Kerr pretty much putting the cherry on top and getting them to the championship multiple times. It's time to move on. Draymond Green is doing what he can at his age, but he's about to age out. Klay's injuries definitely took a lot of years out of him. He's definitely in the twilight years, in my opinion. He'll show flashes every now and then like he did in Atlanta, but it was Atlanta, so there's probably no defense on him, no closing out, because they play very little to no defense. Even with Nate McMillan, a defensive mind that he is, I still don't see the impact when the players don't listen to the coach and the coach is unable to engage with his players. So I have to do a video on the Atlanta Hawks soon too. Hold that thought. I'm definitely going to have to break them down because they got a lot of chaos going on in Atlanta. But for the Warriors, I don't expect them to win a championship this year. They could prove me wrong. They pretty much proved me wrong last year. I thought the Celtics had it in the bag and they just couldn't get it done. But I don't see them doing it again. I don't see it. Too many injuries. They're aging out. It's just a transitional year for them. And you got players in development and players that are underdeveloped and players that need more developed. It's so much going on in Golden State. I don't see them winning again. Not this year. It'll be a while. There are teams in the West that deserve to go to the finals more than Golden State at this point. This has been another episode of GTA's ISO Mode. Follow me at Slatter on all social media platforms. Like, comment, and subscribe to GTA Sports on the YouTube. Follow us at GTA Sports Network and GTA Heat Check on all social media platforms. This is Ty Slatter with GTA Sports. And until next time, take care.